Everybody, DayTraderRockStar, and this is going to be the first series of videos for the RockBot. This will help you install the RockBot, explain how it works, explain everything about it. I've been working on it for now going on 2 years, and I am probably about a week away from delivering the final product to the first 50 people who have gotten this. And we did a little promotion at DayTrader Radio where we gave out 50 of these for people who upgraded to lifetime. So I'm very excited, and I want to get an instruction kind of video series out there talking about it, how to get it set up on your, maybe answer some questions. So it's going to probably be a series of maybe it's going to be over two, probably around 5 videos discussing and this one will be an overview of everything, and I'll just kind of catch you up to where we're at here and what I'm looking at. All right, so welcome again. This is the RockBot. The RockBot is basically a trading robot that works on the NinjaTrader platform. It uses a NinjaTrader trading script, and everything's programmed under that, and it ties right into NinjaTrader. So you have to have the NinjaTrader platform to run it. That's the first thing. Now, I highly recommend using the NinjaTrader, for this reason. But I also use it. They work as a futures broker also, but I use their charting services. And of course, if you listen to the show, you see a lot of you can actually watch the bot, and that is the NinjaTrader platform. So it works really well. So I have nothing really bad to say about it. I think it's a little CPU and hog. It takes a lot of power. But I think, these days most computers can handle that. I think I actually have a slower computer overall. I don't think I'd have some of the issues I've had. And I'll be upgrading my computer soon on this. So the history of the RockBot was basically I've always taught a methodology and I've been trading full time from about 96. Started around 92 part-time trading. And and this is kind of the short story of DayTraderRockStar over time. So I've learned how to make $1 million and lose $1 million, like the old Jimmy Buffett song, or blow it all. So over time, though, we've started to catch on that the market's given us certain signals and stuff, and I've become a more disciplined trader and become successful that I could actually take what I've learned and put it into a course, or just know how to trade now overall. Not involved in the pumps and stuff like that. I'm a very technical trader. I use a few indicators. Those indicators are really scientific in nature. And I find that my weakest part of trading, my weakest attribute of trading is not having full concentration on the markets, because one, I do a show each day and I'm answering questions and I'm looking at different stocks, and there's so many opportunities sometimes in the market that I'll look at the chart and I'll say, oh man, there was a nice 3-minute or 5-minute divergence with a right on the lower channel line. And I would miss that. I'd miss a couple of ticks. I identify it, would watch it run. But mentally, if you're not, you don't see the setup setting up, I want to get the best price. So, and we've become really, really disciplined in trading and waiting for our trades to happen, because this is a high probability methodology. It means that when we have the criteria set up in the market for whatever vehicle we're trading, it could be anything: stocks, options, futures. And the bot does trade the futures, but you could also use the bot as a timing tool for the overall market. So you could basically trade the SPY off of that. You could trade the SPY options off of any of the indexes, any of the future contracts and stuff. They all work, and you could put them all in here, meaning the ES, NQ, the Dow, you name it. If it has futures, then you could trade with the RockBot. So then I said, all right, you know what? Let me start seeing if I could make an alert system to wake me up, especially at night. I forgot to tell you that, the profits in the system and the criteria and the way we're trading is so exact, and things were working so well that I wanted to continue to profit from that. So I wanted to always continue trading. I said, if we have these great setups, I want to be able to, and I'll go back each day and I'll look at the markets, right? I'll look at the markets on the show, and I'll say, let's just go back and look, and say, there was at 3 o'clock in the morning, right when the European markets opened up, there might have been a divergence. I said, that would have been and then we look back and we see the whole thing move up, 10, 15 points. It's like, wow, that was a great trade. But there was no way for me to know it because I'm not in front of the computer. So I said, all right, I'll start working on the an alert system. I'll see if I could get my methodology programmed into this, into this spot. So I started working on that. I had some good lifelong friends who are coders and stuff, and I started working with them how to get my system into the program, into the script, put it into script, and eventually having those trades being recognized. And one thing led to another. The next thing you know, that I'm getting the signals, and I'm getting a bot being made here. So it's at this point right now, I have finished, I would say, 90% of the bot when it comes to the strategy that I want in it. So I'm just going to review what you're going to have in the bot when you get the bot. All right, so let's start off with that. I'm going to scroll down here. Again, here's a little information on the bot, what the DTR bot is. And basically what I told you. Spending all my time trading here and being in front of the computer, but also not having the extra set of eyes on this. Now this bot is an extra set of eyes for me. Alright, here's some of the features of the RockBot here. Again, some of us will just skip over. I put this together on the professional, or so-called professional website that's going to be launched with the RockBot, so you can refer back to this. But this is basically just an overview of it. When I do decide to sell it, this is what you're going to get. And again, this is also going out to people who are going to get the first edition of this. Complex. All right, so what do we have here? Runtime application, just the basic stuff. You continue to get free updates. When I put a new script on this or update a script, I'll send you the update on that operation. Again, you could put an automated trading mode. This is the big thing about the RockBot. Normally, or right now, we have its own station or its own channel. And that channel, you could watch it, and it has it spits out the alerts. You could get the alerts sent to you, and that was the original. The original idea, is to have those alerts text you in the middle of the night saying, "Hey, there's a super signal that's happening." A super signal is a combination. I'm going to talk about that in a second, and that's what I would want to be able to check off. Send me a text or send me an email if there's a super signal after hours, so I could turn that off and on, because I don't want to miss these opportunities, especially in the middle of in the morning, especially when the futures are kind of starting to see some volume coming in due to overnight markets that are opening up, especially the European markets around 3:30. From that 3:30 to 6:30, 7:30, it's usually good trading. All right, so these are called scripts, and each or a strategy. We're going to have the buy divergence, Thunderbird. Now I'm calling them a Thunderbird. I have little code names for them. But the Thunderbird 1 minute scalping mode. It's a buy divergence script. The short divergence script, Thunderbird short divergence script, 1 minute scalping mode. Now 1 minute's always a scalping mode. I want to just kind of detail these a little bit more and just say in 1 minute divergence. I want people to understand that these trades happen very fast. The 5 minute scripts happen a little bit longer, and they're extended profit mode. So we're going to call that extended profit mode, Thunderbirds. So the Thunderbirds are basically divergences. Then we have a bull flag scalping script, a 2020. We have what we call a 2020 bull flag scalping mode. And if, again, part of the high probability methodology are these playbook trades. Now, again, I should have discussed that a little bit with you. Let me just show you fast, update you. Getting back to the, let's get back to the, the original divergence trade. And this is really a key. And again, a very scientific way of approaching the divergence and understanding the underlying momentum that's happening in the stock and the price action. So the divergence we're looking for is the momentum, like a rocket, will continue to to push that rocket, but that will die off fast. but it will continue to push that rocket up a little bit further before it turns over. And that's really our divergence. So when we are able to see that in a divergence, and to see what we have here is we have a high, and then we have a higher high. But when we look at the energy here, if we had another chart here, this is actually crossing down much earlier than this one. This would be the stochastic, underlying stochastics, and the price. So that would be the price. That would be the, and here's the stochastic. So here's the thrusting portion, the momentum part of it, and it dies out here, and it continues to die out. But you can see the rocket continues to move higher, and this is a bearish one, and we just do the opposite for a positive one or a bullish divergence. So I wanted to be able to program that in a way that I'm catching that and really adding on to that. So along with the methodology, you know, starting to build that system around it, you know, there was a lot of things that we had to add into that. So how we're going to take our entries, you know, where to place the trade, where to place the stop. And again, this is from a webinar. So I'll just give you some examples of what, you know, what we look for on that. And that's all programmed into the bot. So the bear flag is basically one of our second, or you know, probably the second or third highest ranked high probability trade setup, what we call a playbook trade. First is the divergence. The second could be the bull bear 2020 flag, and again, not to go into a educational course on the 2020 flag. If you've watched the show or been part of Day Trading Radio or have the School of Stock or have any of my educational videos, there's plenty of information out there on my 2020 bull flag and how important it is to pay attention to what the 2020 means. 2020 is the key right there. A lot of people say, "Oh, bull flag, stock moves up, moves to the right," or you know. Consolidates, it's a bull flag. Not necessarily. We have a way of identifying that bull flag in a way that's so good that I can almost guarantee you the direction it's going to go by a certain couple of indicators. So I'm able to easily program that into it. So that's in there. So we got the bull flag and the bear flag. Now this one just got finished. The super signal. The super signal was something I've been working on for the last 3-4 months, and it's my favorite, and it's the most profitable script there. It is a combination of multiple, you know, it's a multiple indicator setup, which is a high probability setup, but it's a combination of multiple frames that that is just unstoppable, and I love it. And finally we got that done, so that is up there. So I have the super signal time frame on the bull side. I also have it on the sell side or the bear side. Now you can actually see that active now on the RockBot channel. So if you go to the RockBot channel, that'll be the stock and the chart in the lower left hand corner. You'll see it labeled super signal. Now highly advised, you know, those are extended levels. Now we have the original gangster here, and again, the original gangster is one of the it's kind of like a divergence, but it's also using a couple different little indicators that I haven't really discussed much. This came out to be one of our first scripts, and it worked pretty good, but it wasn't the script I wanted. But it gave me some different results. It gave me some good results on that. So I said, you know what? Let's call that the original gangster. It has some key levels, and eventually I'll put a nice video together and explain it more. But a lot of people like the original gangster, so I decided to add it as a strategy. And then of course we have the high probability setups reversal candlestick identifier. So that will also be added to this. That means each candle that's important, I have 5 candles that you should be looking for. 5 reversal candles. And those candles will be identified for you on the charts. So when you're running the charts, those candles will come up and there'll be a nice little notification of what you're looking at. With the release of the bot, I'll also be releasing the Divergence calculator, position size calculator for you. I'm just going to add that to it because it'll make more, give you a better idea of how you want to set up your bot and how you want to enter, how many contracts you want to put in, and how you want approach trading the bot. Now remember, the bot will give you the signals. It's going to be, but everything else is up to you what you want to do, how many contracts you want to use, what your stop is going to be, what your profit zones are going to be, and stuff like that. I'll discuss that with you, but you have a lot of variables that you will be able to adjust on your own. And I'll show you also in one of the videos how to optimize those and make and be able to figure out what's the best variable to use at that time. I'll be able to show that to you. The high probability setup reverse candle identifier is still under construction, so I'm still working on that. I have part of it done, but like I said, 90%. So that leaves a couple little things that I'm just finishing up, like the audio alerts, which I think I corrected those today. Entry management, I want to go over that now just to kind of show you. We have trade filters. This is another thing I'm still working on. Just being able to take long or short trades only, because that's important if you have a very trending market. But we have both long and short scripts and alerts. And you could change a lot of other things on here, which I'll discuss right now. And another thing is, because this works so well with the other indicators we had, I was working on a couple super signals. The one was the multiple time frame indicator, which I have completed, and it works great. And right now, that is the best working and the most profitable. And I'll show you that also in another video, how well that works. And that's something that I urge beginner traders, not to get overly, trade too much, not over trade. Understand your market conditions. These bots are, what this was originally meant for was to identify the setup, and then when you see that setup, you analyze the market conditions. You might see a setup, a buy signal in a very bearish market, and you would understand that bounce would probably be short-lived, and you want to take profits quicker than you would normally do on maybe an uptrending market. So these things that the bot cannot read, you have to learn about. You have to learn how to identify, market trends and bullish and, just an overall tone in the market. Have that sense and experience to help you out with that. So, hopefully that comes with education and being with us here at Day Trading Radio. But other than that, let's go take a look at the interface and how you place your orders and what happens here. I'll give you a first look at that. And before I did that, just to kind of finish my thought before I'm all over the place, I was working on two super signals, and we got the first one down. The second one was to combining the tradeometer with the RockBot. Both of them are excellent. One is a multiple time frame indicator. The other one is basically a HPS playbook indicator where we're trying to mostly trade off of those divergence setups. So when we have that multiple time frame and divergence setup, that's a kind of a really good setup. But because they're cross-platform and they're different, they're different code, different scripts, and different languages on each one, it's hard to combine them. So what I'm doing is I am giving the people who get the RockBot, I'm also adding in the tradeometer, and that is huge. So I'm going to be adding that in. That way you have the tradeometer working on one screen, you have the RockBot on another screen, and when they both hit, you'll know automatically because they both have audio alerts. Until I'm able to breed those and give you that single alert, you'll have the tradeometer, which is it's an unbelievable indicator in itself. If you're familiar with that, looks like let me see. Let me get back over here. Here's the tradeometer, by the way. Again, an excellent indicator. Runs 24 hours, covers the ES, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, crude, and gold. So it has all those two sides. It is fantastic. So you get that with the RockBot. Now I'm going to have more detailed videos on this, but I'm going to run through real fast just to kind of get you started here. But there's better instructions. Actually, NinjaTrader puts out fine instructions. You're going to have your NinjaTrader platform. You're going to have your control panel here. You're going to open up a new chart. Just go down to chart, open up a chart, make sure you have the forward month in front there. So it's going to be, in this case right now, March 2020. And then what I'll just do is I'll just say OK. And then the chart will pop up. It just popped up here. And let's take a look here. We'll just move that over here. Now, you'll see that on the side it'll be in sim mode. If you have your account attached to it, you'll have your account number here. On one of these, if you scroll down, I have a lot of different things that I'm running on it. And so we're just going to put it on sim because everyone will have a default sim 101 just to kind of show you. Up here you have your toolbar. Let me bring that in a little. You'll get used to what each one of these things. This is Chart Trader. This will make this bar disappear. But you need really, I use that just to get to my scripts. Your indicators. When I do send you the script, hopefully you get the template and you get everything will just pop up, so you'll get the indicators and everything. So you don't have to worry about anything like that. Everything will be just bundled up. And then here you have your strategies, and this is where you're going to open that up. You're going to click on that, and over here you're going to see this list of strategies. Is that you have your default ones that come with NinjaTrader. You'll have the one that you imported for me. The ones you will have, you'll see Thunderbird buy signal. Thunderbird, and I'll probably rename these to make them a little bit easier to understand. Super signal short, super signal long. I'll clean all this up. This is in the final stages of everything. So what we'll just say, we're going to use a Thunderbird 1 minute buy divergence. You click on that, add it down here, and on the right hand side you'll see all these parameters. Now this is the fun part. You can actually set this up any way you want. The script is going to identify those setups for you. Now I put a default in, but what I typically do here, and if you're dealing with multiple contracts, you could put that, that would be your lot right there. So right now it's defaulted to 5. So I say 5, and again you could also put down whatever you're going to be trading here, the ES or the MES. You would do that up on your chart up here. Up on the top, you pull that down, so you can actually do the MES, or you can do whatever you prefer. The futures are down here. Sorry for it's lagging and stuff. We'll go back to the S&P right now. All right, a couple little tricks here. So let's go over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to add your 1 minute buy divergence. Right there, you're going to add it, and then you have your parameters. Now, for my work and stuff, we know that this is this is kind of touch and go depending on how the markets are. So what I'd like to do is use the 5 contract default. And again, you could just have this run as a sim and identify. It doesn't have to take the trades real life, or you put it on real time. And you attach your account to it, and it'll take them. So we have basically 5 contracts, and first to take profits first. Like futures just opened up here. That's good. Let me get back here. Take profits number 1. You have take profits number 2, and then a trailing stop. So you have 3 exits on this strategy. 3 exits. Now, the first take profits, how many ticks on the first lot. Now, what I like to do here is just set us up on, this is a very, very conservative way of actually trading, and it really locks in a small bounce, and if it's a very choppy market, I like to put in 3 there. Take profit lots, take 2 off. The lot means how many contracts, that would be 2. And we're taking it off after 3 ticks. 3 ticks, all right. Take profits number 2. How many ticks you want to wait before profit 2 come in? So then at this point, this is your second level. So you could actually put that at any point. I sometimes I double it or put 6. There's different reasons to put other ones, and again, those will come with different videos. I just want to show you how you just are able to kind of put whatever you want in here and customize it yourself, and how many contracts you want to take off. So I take off 2 on the second one. So I took off 2 on the first lot, 2 on the second lot, or it's 2 the second profit zone, take it 2, and then my stop loss ticks. This starts off here, stop loss automatically if the chart goes, or if the price goes against you, it's set at 6 ticks, excuse me. But you could set that again, 10, 12, whatever you want to do. And then when you want to have a trailing, now that you have your trailing stop here on the last, when do you want that started? So I usually have that start after the first profit is taken. So after 3 ticks, my trailing stop starts. And where do you want that trailing stop to activate? So I put it up, trailing stop at 3 ticks. So that automatically locks the profit in. It automatically locks the profit in, and I have a runner to let it continue to run. All right. Trailing stop ticks. So it's checking, and it's going up 1 for 1. So it's just going up 1 for 1 for this one. I want to also just show you how to load that 5-minute here, and the difference between that. Now, I tend to use different charts for the different time frame scripts, because the 5-minute was going to work on the 5-minute chart, the 1 minute is going to work on the 1 minute time frame. If you put them both on the same, they're going to give you the same whatever that time frame of that one chart is. So you're gonna have to change this. So open that up here, put it on 5-minute here. We're just going to run through this real fast, and then we're going to bring up the strategy over here on the strategy bar, and we're going to go down to the Thunderbird 5-minute, which you'll have that. All right, there it is right there. Add that to it, and because the 5-minute is I would consider one of the best strategies, and it's next to the superscript, the super signal. The 5-minute is part of the super signal. It's a longer duration of trade. It gives you a bigger profit. It's something that you want to take advantage of. And I also stress that a lot of the newer traders should only focus on the 5-minute or the super signal and not get so involved in that 1-minute chop fest. And a 1-minute chop fest is good, but you have to be prepared for it and understand that this is, I really stress on taking the bigger trades and the more secure trades. So with this, normally on the 1 minute I would do a 3-tick first profit, but here I could actually go out as far as I want, or at least, if I optimize, I'll use some of the techniques that the NinjaTrader tools give you to optimize it. They'll go back and give you the best parameters to use for each of these. So I'm going to show you that in an individual video, separate video. But we'll say 7 is going to be our first target, and we'll put 12 as our second target. Remember, our take first target, we're still going to take off 2. And again, this is all based off the original lot of 5 contracts. Now you could adjust that. Take profit lot, the number, your second profit's going to be 12. And you're going to take another 2 off. That leaves 1. Your stop loss, your original stop loss in case the market goes against you, we're going to actually put that pretty high. We're going to give that a 10 ticks, which basically is 2.5 points. I mean, you could really put that out to 14. It really depends. I like to keep it pretty tight. Trailing stops, we'll use 7 to kind of lock in our original profit. And the trailing stop ticks, again, we'll have those followed up 7, so it takes place. It happens after 7 ticks, and it moves up 7 to break even. So it's following the 7 stop tick is actually following where the price is at that point by 7 ticks. So picture this up. Price goes up 7 ticks, takes two contracts off. The trailing stop now activates, and where does it activate? It moves. It starts off 7 ticks underneath the price. If this price went up 7 ticks from the beginning, and this is starting 7 ticks under the price, this comes up to break even. This starts off at break even. So now you're playing with house money again. So that's why I always use that 7, that kind of. And then I also want to move this over to my 5-minute divergence signal. And again, this is something I made. I set up different accounts for the different strategies. Now maybe this might be all transferred over into the with the template. I'm not 100% sure, but you just have to make your own accounts on the platform. It's very easy to do. If you need any help, I'll help you with it. On each tick, Thunderbird, everything else here. We have the 5 minute. Make sure you're 5 minute. Thunderbird 5 minute each tick. And then I think everything's good, and we're going to enable it. And then we're going to go to apply. And I think everything should show up here now. Boom, it just showed up. Now you can see, look at the move here. Where this was originally moves up here, and this moves down. It gets to, on the 1 minute time frame, you might get a nice little 1 minute move, and then you probably get stopped out with a trailing stop. Here you have a much bigger trend developing because it's a 5 minute divergence, and the 5 minute divergence is dynamite. I mean, look at this divergence back here. It's usually the 5 minutes, usually a low of the day or the high of the day. All right, that's why it's so important. The super signal is a combination of the 1 minute, 5 minutes. I've been able to combine them. Like I said, you can't usually put the 5 minute and the 1 minute on it together, but I now have put together the super signal where I am now, I've coded that in, and it's it's referencing all the charts and the time frames, and it's it's just, you wait until you see it. But as you can see, this is part of that formula. So how well it works. Perfect long, perfect profits. I mean, that is a great script to have. So that's how that works. I wanted to make sure you understood that. Now you see these little dotted green lines. It's basically a tracker that tells me, kind of just tells me where the profits are, and they connect the entries so I could see it. Anything else? Also, we have audio alerts attached to these. So when a 5 minute divergence long is taken, you will hear something like, let's see if I could actually
5 minute by divergence.
Yeah, you'll hear something like that. 5 minute by divergence. So you have an audio alert. So you can have this, sitting next to you on your laptop. You're doing your thing, and the next thing you know, you have everything running here.
1 minute bull flag buy signal. 1 minute bull flag buy signal.
1 minute divergence buy signal. Order executed.
Oh, you'll hear different things. Actually, I have it all. I have a whole
1
new.
minute bull flag buy signal. Order executed.
I have a whole new girl.
It's over, Johnny.
It's not over.
Nothing is over.
Sorry. I got carried away there. So there it is. So I want to leave it at that. I also just want to touch up saying that we do have 4 spots that were given up by lifetimers who do not trade futures, and they said we'll offer our bot to any other lifetimers who want to take advantage of that. So there's 4 lifetime spots available. If you want to upgrade to lifetime or get a lifetime day trading radio, you'll get the code, the RockBot code, with that. After that, we'll be once I release it and everything is good, we'll be charging for it. Right now, I'm thinking that the price is going to be about $12.99. I think that's reasonable of all the work and stuff, and it's a lifetime license, so you'll be updated all the upgrades and stuff, and you have everything here that you need to know, and all the scripts you're going to be getting with it. Any new scripts that you'll be on, because I'm always working on this. I actually have. Remember, I'm still working on reversal candle identifier. Super signal just got finished. The bull flags are finished. The Thunderbirds, the original gangster, all that's finished. So I'm working on some kind of new stuff, and that you'll receive that also. So a fantastic opportunity to get in. There's only 4 left, and we're not budging on our 50. So take advantage of that. Contact me or Paul, DTRS at DayTraderRadio.com. That's DTRS, DayTraderRockStar, at DayTraderRadio.com. DTRS. To lock that in. It won't last this week. It won't. We'll still have the RockBot channel going. So if you want to watch it and continue to be alerted to it, we will have that. We're still working on our text alerts on that. That should be almost done, because now that we have the alerts all working, those text alerts are going to be sent out. So you do have that opportunity to have the future package on Day Trading Radio to actually view and watch the RockBot in action and get alerted to all the trades. All right, and then we will have the monthly stats and stuff coming also in the optimization videos. I'm going to be working on those and showing you each of the strategies and breaking those down and how to install those. I want to get those out in a series of videos right after this one. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's been a long time coming, but it's right around the corner. I hope you enjoy the make a lot of money with the RockBot. I'll be using it a lot. I always use it. And I think that's it for now. All right. I'll talk to everyone in the markets.